Stream is up. Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. All that looks good. All right, where were we? I'm gonna fix this bug right there. Okay, so the question is, oh, there's no block. Do I need a block? Let me see. Yep, so that block is needed. What could be causing this exception? Is it this? Top player physics 426. So it's saying it's this right here, but I mean the player X was set and so is DX. And actually, the issue is on the actual map itself, the map of the players, or the, what am I saying? There's a map being, there's a map occurring somewhere. So in the event of a death, let me see how death at works. Lob, don't eat their food. Am I not setting on floor DX? What happens if I remove those properties? Nothing. See, he's saying it's failing on orange portal, but I don't believe that. Yeah, see? Method missing plus on class 427. Yeah, it's saying the player can't be known. let's look at what player DX is. It looks like there's someone on the stream. How's the sound? Is it good? Sorry, one sec. Sound good? Is there any like a background? Can you hear the music okay? Hopefully you can hear the music. Player DX is set. And let's see what the player DX value is. So the player DX values are being populated. This is the annoying thing about dynamic languages right here. It's like, okay. Because your voice is clear, seems to be some sort of background noise. Can you hear it now? Alright, so we have rotation and then derotation. Rotation maybe. No, rotation should be 0. We have a death, clamps, and then on floor. Alright, let me pretty print the player. Alright. Those are my methods on player. All the properties look to be set. Let's see. We have rotation, derotation. Death at is nil, which is fine. On floor at is value. On floor X and Y are nil. So that means I need to make sure to clear out on floor at maybe. Yeah, okay, hopefully the background music is resolved now. No, it's still hitting that error. That's very strange. And I think it's only on the... Yeah, so see, that works. Is player DX being set here? Player.dx. Oh, okay. Alright, player DX values are being set. But yeah, the moment I touch the left side of that enemy, it's like, screw you. So let me look at my collision. Let me look at my collision bodies. So I have walls, enemies, and lava. So what happens if I remove enemies from my collision body? Do I still get the error? Okay, I don't get the error when I remove the collisions from the enemy body. That's good. So let's change the enemies. Crap, I actually wanted to keep that one. Straight up seg faulting. Jesus, what the heck? BC trap, your face. Golly. This is a great start to a stream. Jeez. Just really? Just like straight up, just nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna seg fault. What? WTF? Alacrity seg faulting? Why the hell is Alacrity seg faulting? No, it looks like it's the engine. Let me revert whatever change I made. Let's move those changes. Alright, no DR processes, clean. Alright, the seg fault's gone. Reset the game. So enemy creation, let's remove all these enemies. Alright. Okay, we have a single enemy. Let's see if I still get the exception. Alright, I still get the exception. That's good. Well, it's not good, but I'm isolating it. Ferocious Fiend, I don't know if you're still here, but yeah, what brings you here today? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Doing a game dev? So that's the player physics. Let's print out the enemies. I got you. Yeah, like what kind of dev do you do? Full stack? Alright, let's look at what enemies looks like. So enemy has a XY width and height. That part looks good. It doesn't have a DX value or a DY value. But it never did. Is it previous Y, previous X? It's very strange. I have no idea why I'm getting this exception. And the weird thing is, if I launch the player, then that works. It's only if I'm not launching the player and I just like roll onto the enemy, or like if I'm falling, it just the moment it hits the enemy, it throws an exception. And this is one of those bugs that's going to haunt me. Hacking together support for two ships of different grids, the same screen at the same time. If you got a link, happy to take a look at it. Yeah, for some reason, and you know, talking about it might help. All right, so so this is essentially an enemy, right? So if I touch a bomb, you know, it gets attached to me and it blows me up. I can throw my own bombs, which is nice. And then if I'm throwing my own bombs, the cool thing there is that my bombs I can actually use to bomb jump. Right, so I can rotate and then do a bomb jump, so that part helps. I mean, that part works. If I launch and hit the enemy, everything's good. But if I just roll off the screen, for some reason it explodes. Would DR be able to make low poly 3D games like on? Yeah, Tanji, you can. We have a triangles primitive in the pro and indie licenses. We also someone also did like a really badass raycaster. Let me show you that real quick. While I let my brain process why the hell these collisions are failing. So someone created this raycaster using DragonRuby. Or ray tracer. It's the one where it's Doom-like, right? And as far as a 3D, we have a samples cube. We have a sample called Cube World, and in there. There's examples of how to do like the perspective 3D and like the projections and whatnot. So you can do it, but as far as something a bit more advanced like Legend of Zelda, I probably wouldn't. Yeah, I probably wouldn't really recommend it. It's just you know, the emphasis is definitely on 2D games. The low poly 3D is a possibility, but I would probably hedge against that. Yep. Yeah, the perspective and stuff, like a Doom style like 3D game, totally doable. But getting into more of the advanced advanced stuff, I would probably say, might be better to try something else. The other tricky part, specifically with 3D games, is, and kind of my own motivations is, commercial games are my thing, right? I have to build games and be able to monetize them and ship them quickly. And when you move into the 3D space, your team has to be bigger than one person. Just someone to do the 3D modeling, that in itself is a pretty big investment. So it's really difficult to make a case for building 3D games. Yeah, and I know they're intimidating. I think I avoid the issue by saying 3D games are intimidating. Period. It's like, oh gosh, 3D game. I'm not going to do that. That's way above my head. But yeah, I think that's kind of the decision point. If it's a hobby project, yeah, go to town, use whatever. I think Raylib's pretty damn nice. I mean, it's C-based. It's not cross-platform. It's all OpenGL. So you're going to get challenges with respect to Direct 3D, and metal rendering is just not going to be fun. And it's C-based, but it has a pretty simple interface into actual 3D programming. But yeah, 3D in itself is just incredibly intimidating. All right, I'm gonna spend like 2 more minutes on this, and if not, then I'm gonna like move on to camera or something else. But that is a strange issue. All right, so if I have an enemy down here, and I just, yeah, so if something is being set when I launch that isn't being set if I just simply fall off a platform. Gosh, that's annoying. And the stack trace isn't helping. It's just like, screw you. Yeah. 165 top player physics. Yeah, I know. I'm here. It's saying the failures at 426, which is like, that's bullshit. Is it the focal point? Is the focal point the issue? No, it's returning the player as the focal point. And at what point? Yeah, the interaction's there. Okay, so if I go to my player, what kind of 3D game were you wanting to build? Low poly. Like, I've always wanted to do like a DD make of like Vagrant Story, or just just a study of that. It's a beautiful game. It really is. So Collide DX also uses collision bodies. I am not taking into consideration the enemy in here. I'm only considering them as walls. I saw a video today of someone making Mario Maker in a Nintendo 64 Super Mario. What? How? Wait, what? Yeah, please post a link. I'm like, huh? Okay, okay, so wall collision. What am I doing here? So I'm doing a wall collision on let's see. I'm saying if there isn't a wall collision, then try to find player shifted down. What the hell is this? Okay, so I shift the player down by like 5 pixels. And then I see if there's a floor collision. And if there isn't, then if there is a floor collision, then I get that specific floor collision and then move them back up. So let me put floor collision, see what's going on there. Yep, so there's my floor collision. Man, that's strange. Alright, let's look at this video.
What's up, guys? It's Rover, and today...
So are they actually using Mario 64? No, okay. I thought they were like using like an emulator or something, but they're making a Mario 64 Mario Maker kind of thing. I like their machinery, like their whatever like map editor facility that they're using, or that they built out. Wait, how are they did they make this entire game from like scratch? Wait, how? How is this? That is very cool. 3D collisions in itself is also intimidating. Everything's intimidating about 3D. But doing 3D collisions, ramps in 3D collisions, I mean, we still can't get it perfect. Obviously, like all the glitches and the wall clipping stuff that was in Mario itself. But if you look at any like a modern 3D game and just watch a speedrunner, the exploits that they take advantage of for physics engines, it's hilarious. Nier Automata is a perfect example. They'll clip through everything. I think there was like I think someone like recently found an exploit inside a portal to clip through walls, and it brings home that point of like just 3D is scary. Don't do 3D. Never do 3D. Alright, so players shifted down. The floor collision. Alright, so we have our floor collision. Alright, so the floor collision has a value, which is good. Alright, there's our exception. Alright, so the floor collision is nil. But if it's nil, I explicitly say, hey, you know, don't look at it. Clyde 4DX. Where's this getting called? I am passing on collision bodies. Alright, so if the player isn't on the floor, go ahead and only increment the DX value and then do the explicit floor collision for those specific collision bodies. Alright, so the question is... I'm gonna see if I get past this line. Whoops. Alright, yeah, see, it moved, so the exception's not happening here. I don't know. That's just really freaking wild. I'll do 2.5D since I can logic that, yeah. And renderize isometrically. That actually sounds interesting. Because you still have like a 3D facet to it. I'm trying to think about... You know, and if you place your camera correctly, I think that could work out well. You can't do any kind of rotation, or like if the player can't... You basically, the stage would always have to be going upwards and like to the right. That would actually be an interesting game. Isometric precision platformer, where the stage, you know, where the camera is fixed and the player moves up and to the right always, or down and to the left. I think that's a real cool idea. Because you can do all the interesting wall kick stuff. Moving the camera is the tricky part. You can't move the camera, but maybe you can do like some kind of player masking or something. Alright. We're going to work on something else. Let's work on camera shake. And then I'm sure I'll figure out what the hell is going on with this at some point. Yeah, you could probably do like some transparency stuff, but and just kind of make whatever thing that the isometric body that they're colliding with kind of transparency kind of goes through it. That might be an option, but it's the thing I like about the idea is that it's unique, right? I've never seen an isometric. I don't think I can even recall any kind of real isometric platformer that wasn't a 3D platformer. Maybe like Marble Madness. Yeah, Marble Madness comes to mind, but I can't think of any other isometric platformer. And that was a pretty fun game. That's interesting. That's another weird floor bug. Wait, do I even have to do that variant? Maybe. There's something jacked with 4DX. I think I just need to rethink that function altogether. Okay, so you're in this area. I do have enemy movement. Yeah, definitely make a POC. I think it's a cool enough. It's an idea worth exploring. It really is. All right, so enemy movement is what I was working. We want to work on camera shake. Okay, so if I throw a bomb, if I throw a bomb, all right, bomb hits the floor, explodes. We want some camera shake. So let's look at our scene's render target and make sure that the facilities are in place for it to at least incorporate a camera shake. All right, so there's my lighted scene. All right, so here I should be able to just say, angle is equal to state.tick count. Yeah, let's see if I got a rotating thing. Man, that's trippy right there. Holy crap. That will definitely make you dizzy. Alright, now let me go to the sample, the camera shake sample app, because I can never remember how to do camera shake. Alright, shake camera. So we have a concept of a trauma intensity and then angle. Alright, so let's go to camera. Go over defaults. We'll set the angle to 0, and then the trauma to 0 also. So both those are 0, and the way the camera shake works is there'll be a calc camera, which I think I already have. I have the function there. I'm not doing anything with it though, but I'm glad that the function's there. I was like, I should do something with this, and I never do. Player movement, all that looks good. Calc special effects, calc camera. All right, and then inside of calc camera, we have a concept of a next camera offset. So yeah, let's just take this code and see what happens. We have an angle. Next camera angle is 120 over 2. That looks good. And then if I press the space bar, then that will add trauma to the camera. And then I'll use that camera trauma to set the offset of the scene and the angle itself. Fairly straightforward. I love 90s early 2K RTS games. Use the isometric view, even a few texting top-down isometric view as well as instead of an angle. Yeah, like Into the Breach, beautifully rendered. I love that. StarCraft, Warcraft, big time fans of those games. I am definitely a fan. Alright, so we have our camera viewport and everything. So if I do, if I set the angle to camera.angle, and the question here, so if I hold space, yeah, look at that. It's very subtle, but hopefully you can see the shake. That's really subtle though. Let's see if we can increase that trauma. What if I increase it by... Let me see what my trauma is set to. Well, I'm not doing the offset yet. Let me put the offset in there also. But it looks like it works. And I'm going to subtract the camera offset X and camera offset Y. So that's my viewport. We'll extract the viewport, and then I want to do viewport.x minus equals camera offset X, offset Y, and then throw the viewport in there. That, damn. Whoa! And we'll go back to the camera, or this, where was I? Space. Keyboard, space. So I have my trauma set to 0.2. Was I not changing the trauma in the right place? Of course not. I was changing in the sample app. Let's quit that. Let's see what happens if we set it to 10. That might be a bit too much camera shake. Let's clamp it to. Let's see what a good max value is going to be. I think that's good right there. So we set the trauma. When a bomb explodes, we'll set the trauma of the. Should evenly select between positive and negative angle offsets too. Yeah, but I gotta do math then. So I do 180 because it's only like shaking in one direction. All right, fine. Times state.camera.angle.sine multiplied by -1. So it should go back and forth now. Let's see if it alternates between positive and negative. Why is it always negative? Wait, I do that here. I do alternate for the angles. It's just down here. I already do it. It's right there. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. The stream being at a lower frame rate, but yes, I am alternating between angles. So it's shifting. It's definitely shifting left and right. The screen shading I'm going for is essentially rotation and then movement. So it's super subtle. But it's definitely there, and yeah, I think it might be the 30 FPS. That could potentially be causing the issue. Yeah, the rotation's really nice. The entire scene is being offset by the camera shake. So if I can increase the actual offset itself, so you can kind of see what that looks like. All right, so that's the offset. So that's quite the camera shake right there. Let me run it again. So that's with the extremely intense camera shake right there. Yeah, so setting it to 100 just gives it a bit of a like thing, because these are tiny bombs. They're not big bombs. So when the bomb gets dropped, when it explodes, that's when I want the camera shake to occur. So in that case, and as far as the degradation, maybe a little bit slower on the degradation. That might be shaking too long. All right, so let's incorporate that into the actual game. So I have a bomb. I have a concept of a bomb. Do I have a bomb calc? All right, so there's my bomb calculation, and then I want to get a result back from that, and then I'll say state.camera.trauma is equal to result.trauma. Camera trauma, if that actually exists. So I have my bomb calculations here, and then I have a concept of a bomb being detonated, and any bomb being detonated could cause a shake. Let's say that. Alright, so then I'm going to say any bomb detonated is equal to that. And if so, then I want to I'll just, yeah. Let me get the first one. Find. Do I want the first one? No, any. Any is fine. So if any bomb was detonated, then I want to return camera trauma, and set that to, what was the maximum that I was working with? 0.2. Otherwise, I'll just return an empty hash. Okay, so if I shoot a bomb, let's see if we get a bit of a shake. There was. Let me increase the intensity so we can kind of see that on stream. There we go. Two bombs get shot off. Okay, that's a good bit of shake right there. These are tiny bombs, so they probably shouldn't shake that much, but it's fine. Let's see what it looks like when I'm launching myself with the bomb jump. Yeah, so every time, holy crap, every time the enemy shoots a bomb, that is a lot of camera shake. Oh, let's bring that down just a hair. And let's go to the enemy and increase, maybe let's increase it to where, maybe every 5 seconds, as far as the shot rate is concerned. It's kind of a dumb place for the enemy, but let's add one that's actually like within the scene. Maybe there. And I only want to do the camera shake if it's within the viewport. That's probably another thing. Like, do I care about camera shakes that are outside of the viewport? The intensity of the camera shake could be based on distance, right? Let's see. And let's get rid of this enemy for now. Oh, it's getting stuck on the wall. Let's set the launch power to just 3. There we go. So that hits the ground. Let's add some lighting to the explosion. Go into the game. Get my FX cue. It's one of those things like, is it too early for juice? Is there never a time where it's never too early for juice, right? So there's my bomb cue. Set the size for the bomb. Okay. Let's add a mask. Is it ever too early for juice? Never. We'll update the path to be, instead of pixel, it'll be the mask. Color will change, that's fine. Alright, let's see what that looks like. It's still kind of hard to see. It just kind of disappears. WTF. Oh, I gotta set the target. The target will be lights. Trying to get to my game. There we go. Where? Why? Why is this not working? Let's set the color. The alpha is 255. That part's good. But it's just like disappearing. You barely see it. Alright, let's make the delta maybe like 5. Oh, it was working, but it was making it dark? Okay. That's a good observation. Why isn't it working? Let's change it. Let's change. Oh, there it was. Yeah, there it is right there. You're right. It's making that area like darkish. So the color for the mask. Let's see what I set it to. Yeah, RGB should be 255 for everything. But let's set the growth to be a bit larger. Maybe like 10 pixels. Alright, so that works, and then yeah, let's figure out why it's what if we set it to we gotta go the opposite direction. 255, 255, 255, maybe? Oh crap, it's on me. It's making it darker. I'm doing exactly the same thing here. Target scene light. Set the alpha property. I'm pulling out the prefab color. Yeah, when they shoot the bomb, it works great. And if they shoot the bomb, yeah, all that works. These are exactly the same, aren't they? Lights. Yeah, bomb X and Y, all that's being merged in. Is it pulling in other properties from the bomb, maybe? If I do this, and we want to set the type to be alpha and D size. And then the delta width we'll set to 20. Wait, how big is the bomb? 8. 8 over 20. 20 over 8. Growth by 6. I don't know. Math. Again, math. Is that better? Let me see. I think it's setting the size. Oh, I need a delta width and height. Catch a bomb in the lights. Yes. Okay, that's working a little bit better. Yeah, the growth could be way bigger. And I should accelerate it, to be honest. Yeah, you can see it now, definitely. There we go. So The color, what if I set the color, the blue to 255, the G to 0, and R to 0? Do I get a bluish explosion? Doesn't look like it. I'm definitely getting an explosion now, which is good. It's actually pretty. Alright. So we have camera shake. We've got some after properties on the lights. Worry about the color later. And then if you go over a bomb, you get hurt. And then you're like, right, I'm trying to actually stick the bomb on you right there. Cool. And then my own bombs. I could have just been shooting my own bombs. Dang it. So I can shoot my own bomb. The focal point is messed up. Because if I move, it should set... Oh crap. Wait, yeah, it's my own bomb, so it's fine. Bomb. Okay, so move left and right. I need to fix that to where then my player and left, rotate left, or yeah, input spin left. I set the DX and D rotation. And I do set an interaction, so it should, oh, aim. I think aiming, can aim. When aim at is set, I set the interaction there also. Alright, so when I shoot a bomb, when I aim, it should update that property. If is a property ever no? No, the property's never no. When I launch, let me see, when I launch the player, yeah, I set my interaction to be the current tick count. Then put us left or right, set the target, and then we set the target aim angle. Am I setting the interaction when I do this? Yep, there's the interaction map for the target aim angle. If value maybe. Oh, sorry. If value. So interaction at. We set it when we aim. We should probably set it when we do a rotation too. Yeah, I need to set it when I move. So shoot a bomb. WTF? I'm moving. So you're the second person that said it feels like you're underwater. The violin is there, and then I think I talked about it last time, and it's actually the cosmic. I finally found out what it was. So the blips and boops that you're hearing are actually is a sound synthesis of the cosmic background noise from the deep space, picture with all the galaxies in there. So you take the Hubble space telescope, and when it took a picture of that area, where it was like just a small part of the of our galaxy, they did a rendition of that, and I think I'll show it one more time because it's really cool. All right, so if I remove just the background, and then I'll turn up the volume so you can hear it. So that's actually a sound rendition of what you see visually in that part of the sky. But yeah, you're the second person that said that it feels like you're underwater. Now, that's not what I'm going for. I'm going for chill and relaxing, definitely. But yeah, see, you can see the camera shake from the bomb, but you're so far away that it probably shouldn't happen. All right, so let's go to the bomb, and let's go to camera trauma. So instead of doing an any, I'll do a find. Exploded bomb, and if the bomb has exploded, the max cam I want the camera trauma to be that multiplied by I want the inverse of the distance from the player. Thank you. Well, I don't care about the time. I want 1 minus the distance from the player and the exploded bomb by the how big is my scene? I think I set it to the scene is the size of the viewport. How big is the viewport? 1500. Alright, so the distance from the bomb over 1500. And then I'll set that to the camera trauma. Do I want the bomb to be in screen space when I do this? That's another good question. Because that probably removed the camera shake. Let's see. So if I put it there, yeah, the camera shake goes away. But if I do it like right here, yeah, so that was good. Puts camera trauma. So we're definitely not getting the camera trauma from that enemy all the way over there, which is good. Yeah, the trauma is 0.8. And let's see if I go like super far away. Well, now I'm next to the enemy. Fine, we'll just use the enemies. Yep. So there's our shake there. There goes the bomb. Yeah. Trauma's 1.5. We'll probably increase it now. Maybe double it. And then we'll take a look at the clamp. And then that could be potentially up to... Oh, okay, only clamp when I actually press spacebar. Yeah, it really is pretty. And I always have the same thing. I was like, I should think of like a playlist or something. But hey, this is fine. Just having this loop continuing is just, it's really pretty. That feels pretty good. And you shoot the bomb off. And then what if I shoot the bomb when I'm far away? Yep. You still get a nice little camera shake. Whatever makes sense for the music to randomly fade in and out, going from this to not having music would be a very interesting effect. Makes the fear. That's a good question. When should it do that though? Oh, like maybe in like specific like specific settings. Maybe specific vistas have like the music just kind of fade out. What is still causing the shake of the camera? Wait, you're supposed to be dead. The deuce? Okay, you're alive again. Oh, I had an enemy over here. Okay. I was about to say, I'm like, where is the other enemy? But he's over here. Okay. That needs to be not an enemy, but a lava thing. There we go. Oh. Lava is indestructible. So that enemy was moving, which I guess it's okay that it's moving. That's a good idea. So you got a little enemy here. No, not a wall. An enemy. What did I do to change the enemy type? Yeah, let me think about the fade in and out. I think that's good because it will make you feel that way. Like if the music goes away. Collidable. When did I change that? Oh, I called it terrain. Okay. Let's set the type to enemy. There we go. And then let's see what it looks like when they move. Yeah, they clip through the screen. Yeah, my enemy movement logic isn't great right now. Let's actually launch off. Okay, player death would be another piece of juice I want to add. Yeah, they move a bit too far. But yeah, maybe having the idea of like an enemy that you have to try to deal with feels good. But yeah, it should be used sparingly as a subtle effect. I think so too, yeah. Another interesting thing was that when I had a bunch of these enemies on the screen, it was yeah. I think you mentioned that it looked like raindrops. Yes, there's definitely there will be definitely a concept of a vista. Yeah, I also want to set it to where the enemy doesn't kill itself from the bombs. But I'll set that eventually. Okay, so let's work on player death now. I want that to look a little bit better. So when you die, or when that occurs, I want the player to fade in. Let's get that in place. We'll have a concept of spawn at, and then the alpha game RB. We'll set the spawn at to the current tick count. And then I have a concept of render player. Do I have a prefab in here? No. So render player is still over here. And then we'll set the alpha equal to what? If player dot spawn at elapsed time is less than 60, then I want the alpha to be a percentage of what? Yep. Player spawn at elapsed time over 60 times 255. Otherwise, keep it at 255. Yep, I know that property's not set. Add the property to my player. Let's go back to the lava area. Got a few people in the stream, looks like. Feel free to ask questions if you have any. Alright, so when I die, that was really quick. I don't even know if it worked. Yep. So what if we go for a longer period? Maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 180. Oh, I have to actually use the property. Come on, why aren't you working? What if I set, so Set the alpha to 0. Oh, it's the after image, huh? Okay. I appreciate that. Clicky keyboards are the best. And I appreciate the interactions, right? That's one of the aspects of streaming, is that it kind of keeps me on task and not playing MOBAs. I have a problem with MOBAs. Hi, I'm a MOBA player, and I have a problem with MOBAs. I need to stay away from them. Alright, so here's the Z mod for that. It's the same thing here. I should probably set the alpha. GeoGazer? I've never heard of that game. Don't tell me about it, because then I'll want to play it. Don't you dare post a link. Don't you dare. Oh. I got Baldur's Gate today. Man, that game, it's impressive. It is looking to be very promising. I played for about 3 hours and I was like, I gotta stop playing. I should stream. And then I get on stream, and then y'all are telling me about games that I haven't played that I can get addicted to, and I don't appreciate it. Just don't. It's not nice. It's extremely boring. Don't worry about it. I got Slay the Spire a few months ago, and I've already put in 400 hours in that damn game. That's another game I should stop playing. So the after image is something that I want to add, but I should probably only add it if the player.dx is greater than 0, does not equal 0, or player.dy does not equal 0. And I have Slay the Spire on mobile, which is even worse, because I can just play it wherever. That looks much better. As far as like it is a D&D campaign. It's a D&D campaign where there's a dungeon master, and the dungeon master is interesting. I'm not starting the campaign killing bugs in a basement, right? Or like stupid oversized rats in the basement or something dumb like that. It's a really great campaign. I should probably fade in the aiming reticle also, and the OMS rendering. Probably all those things should be zoomed in globally. Another thing about Baldur's Gate is that they didn't sell out, right? None of that battle pass stuff, no IAPs, none of that. They're just like, here's an awesome game, play it, enjoy it. And it's really appreciated. Oh, so this is interesting. Look at this. If I touch on the right, this might be related to that issue that I was seeing with the enemy. Cause see, I'm not. I wonder. So set a wall. I'll set it like right here. Same exception. Something to think about. All right, so aim reticle. What the hell was that? Oh, my trauma is incorrect. My trauma values are incorrect. This is an Jeez. Oh, camera trauma, not calc trauma. It's math. What did I... It's the math. It's always math. Oh, it's a negative value. But yeah, that trauma is way too large. It can't be negative. The distance from the player, I have to clamp this value, I think. Yeah, that's the problem. And so let me clamp the value. Between 0 and 1500. And then after I clamp the value, I want to... And I've got order of operations incorrect here. D over 1500. There we go. And the inverse of that. That'll fix that. Yeah. Basically, that's the clamping. Cool. I think that's correct. So now feels like front-end web dev. Yeah. The live editing is incredibly important. There we go. So if it's nice and close, you get a bit of trauma, or quite a bit of trauma. Otherwise, you shouldn't. So like this is the idea of a vista, right? I could have like the music fade out here when you finally land in the bottom area. Should I try setting up a proper LSP? I think the LSP will work great for just like regular C Ruby, but the DragonRuby dialect is different. So I gotta fix that. The DragonRuby dialect is different, so you're not gonna get super great LSP support. There's a VS Code plugin on the community server. That seems to work. And for me, I use C tags and Copilot, and that has been game changing with respect to like productivity and stuff. It just kind of knows what I'm trying to type most of the time. So I almost don't feel like I even need autocomplete anymore. Yeah, the autocomplete APIs are actually provided by DragonRuby through an HTTP endpoint. It's not great, but it kind of works. But yeah, these days I don't even see the point of LSP because of how good, because of the advancements we've been seeing with LLMs. All right, that feels way better. Okay, fix the camera timer. What were you doing? Yeah, player death. Let's get rid of this wall. There's the fade in. Return 0 if player dot. So if they're dead, return 0. Yeah, I don't think I cared when I had Python. Yeah, you can go crazy with that without worrying about any of the static analysis stuff. There's still a weird flicker. Yeah, on movement, get a little bit of flicker. That's probably because of the Zmod. I'm probably going to say here. Yeah, if either one of these are 0, and player dot spawn at dot elapsed time is greater than, I think we set it to 180. All right, fading feels good. 180 is probably too long now. Maybe set it to 120. Maybe 60 now. Let's see what 60 feels like. I should probably extract that to a variable at some point. But yeah, static analysis, it's good. I mean, it can definitely help. It definitely helps auto completion, but I think we're moving past the need for LSP servers. That feels good. Probably should do that now. The LSP stuff or the LLM stuff. So aim reticle. Am I even using this function? I don't even think I'm using this function anymore. Yeah. I mean, it's there, but it's not being used. Right, don't care about that function. The launch reticle, I'm pretty sure I'm using. Yeah, I'll do that eventually. I'll extract it at some point. After I've changed it 17 times. Yeah, that fade in feels good. And then we'll call this player alpha. So now the aim reticle should fade in also. Or not. Move that alpha value there. Okay, nice fade in there, and then same thing for the OMS stuff. OMS prefabs. Take the player in. Okay. Player alpha, I should move that over along with the duration. All right, this finally forced me to do it. Do I just want to call it A? Sure. I'll call it alpha. Or death fade in, after death fade in, spawn fade in, spawn alpha. And then calling it spawn A just makes me sound Canadian. I love my strongly typed languages, but yeah, LLMs can probably replace LSPs entirely, yeah. Yeah, you would use the LSPs for the analysis, and then I can go on a whole rant about about static analysis. I'll refrain from doing that right now. Okay, so I've got the concept of a spawn alpha now. Oh yeah, I read that blog entry. The best thing, I think the most poignant point that he made was that the easy things become hard and the hard things become any. And I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. Prefabs. So the prefabs are here. The cell status charged. Spawn alpha for there. That looks good. Set the border. If it's depleted. Yeah, I mean, if it's depleted, it should be 0. Well, I guess I don't care about if it's depleted or not. Yeah, when it's depleted, it doesn't matter. And there's your fade-in. Cool, so that looks good. I love messing around with type level, TypeScript, yeah. The question is all about speed. Types, I feel, are extremely important when your teams get larger. When you have a very, very large team, I think type safety can be a boon. Just it's a means of communication because we don't have time to communicate in any other way. So it's like it's the lowest. It's like the minimum that can be done. It's like at least we have a type system so that can communicate to other teammates. But yeah, as a solo dev, as a small team, I need the productivity. Sometimes I don't have time to. I just don't have time. I don't have time to reason about a specific type, especially if and not all types are created equal. Sometimes I just want it to be any because I don't care about it. You start with types and work outwards. And I think I brought this up in the past, is that I think that starting with the types and working outwards works really well for well-defined problem domains. Banking applications, yeah. Type system makes sense. A game? I don't know. I have no idea where a specific like armor property would be, or HP or anything. I might decide to start it at a specific thing, but I'll definitely get it wrong the first time through. It's because we're dealing with, the gray matter stuff. It's not well defined. And so you end up with a lot of churn in your object structures until things stabilize and stiffen. And I think that's unique to like more of these like this kind of artistic endeavor versus well-defined software. Cool. All right, we have fade into the player. We've got bomb shake, which is nice. We've got enemies, we've got trails on masking on the bumps they shoot out. Nice little effects there. Now it's this problem. I'm back at the stupid error again. But that's interesting that there's something wrong with that collide method. Yep, I think you're right intuitively, but yeah, I still do want to see what a really rich type system can provide and how much it can either stand in and out of my way. The biggest challenge or the biggest criticism I have about type systems is that I can't extend it. I can't trivially extend my type system. What if I... And that's kind of where it blurs the line between static analysis and like linters, is that I want to create a type that, or I want to create a constraint in my compiler that says at no point should the function elapsed time be called in the same method that spawn alpha is called. I want a compiler error that provides that constraint. And you can't do it. Right? You've got your static analysis, but the complexity is so high there that reasoning about doing something, extending it to move past just what's baked in is what I really want from a type system. And yeah, or like this should only be a positive number. Where is my positive integer type? You probably need things like COQ and Idris. Is this another distraction? Are you talking about interesting things that are going to distract me again? Please stop. I'm kidding. But yeah, like we're talking about static typing and like the benefits of it. Well, why can't I as a developer take advantage of those benefits and say there's a unique relationship between these functions in that they should never be called within a specific execution trajectory. Right? We can handle maybes and or like missing enum, like F# does. Hey, you're missing this enum, right? Or you haven't handled for this enum case. Well, yeah, I want to create a compiler error that says if these two functions are called within a specific call path, that it needs to be explicitly handled for. And you can't do it. I am not distracted by Haskell. Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. The other weird thing is that proponents of static typing, when they bring it up, and I bring up, well, I mean, yeah, static typing is great and you should use it, but you're using Kotlin, C#, TypeScript. Why not take it to the next level? Why not use Haskell? Why not use Haskell for your backend? Why are you using TypeScript? I mean, if static typing has been so beneficial, use Haskell. Use a better statically typed language. And they're like, well, that's too statically typed. I've literally had someone tell me that. That's too statically typed for me. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? So statically typed, but not too statically typed. I don't know. People are comfortable with what they're comfortable with. Yeah, I completely agree. I think they're if you're a proponent, what I find it hard to reconcile is proponents of statically typed languages that opt for using a subpar statically typed language. Why do you do it, right? All right, fade in, fade out works. Okay, now this stupid bug. So I have this concept of a floor DX. The question is, do I even need this stupid thing? Also, there's a ton of type gymnastics I'm able to do with TypeScript when I write a library that I can't do with the other two. The progressive aspect of TypeScript is something I think both languages need, to be honest. I think that feels really good with respect to TypeScript, and I think that's very cool. There's a really good closure talk that you might enjoy, and I think it brings up some really good points about dynamic typing too. I think it's called maybe not. So if you Google for Rich Hickey, maybe not. He talks about facets of like dynamic typing and static typing, specifically in the context of business applications, and I think he makes some really good points there too. Yeah, maybe not is a fantastic talk. All right, so let me look at one of my other samples that I have. Actually, it's on a branch that I've been working on. We call it map editor. Yeah, map editor, level editor, work in progress. Root scene. Okay, so in here I don't have I handle the falling of a player, and I don't have a concept of, this DY stuff that I'm doing here. So I do the, let me just copy this function. So I change the DX, I set the DY, and then the gravity is applied at the end. And now the question here is where am I applying gravity? Do I even have a gravity constant? I do have state.gravity, okay. Alright, so there's my dy, where I'm applying, where I apply the gravity, but here, so I do have a concept of them being on the ground, but I don't explicitly check for that. Alright, so I say, we do the dx first, and in there, yeah, I do all the axis line, bounding box, collision, foobar. And I do degradation of dx, which I'm not doing there, which is fine. And then after that, I shift the player's dy and then set on floor to false. So if I just explicitly set on floor to false, Then I check the collisions on the DUI, which is done here. I set it to true. Set DUI, and then I apply gravity. Where the hell is that other end coming from? Yeah. So I don't care about explicitly setting it. I'll just set the property to set it to false. But yeah, that's one of the biggest points that he made was that in the talk, the Rishike talk, was that he explored like the concept of a maybe type, and that you've got someone distributes a library that has this maybe type, and then the library the person that's distributing the library is like, well, I can guarantee that this will never be null, and so they remove the maybe type and make it an explicit type, and that's like a general improvement in the library, and you would expect that not to be a breaking change, but it's a breaking change. So everywhere that maybe type was introspected, now that code doesn't need to be there, but he talks about some of the fallout from looking at type safety like that, and that it's kind of like a Java has those function. You can define a function that throws exception, and so then any function that uses that specific function that throws an exception just ends up throwing an exception, right? I don't explicitly handle for it. I just say, okay, this function also throws an exception, and then another function, that one also throws an exception, just to bypass what the compiler is trying to tell me, right? So it's along those same lines. I don't need games type safe or type. I need raw mutating variables so I can abuse. Yes. You're being sarcastic, but it's actually true. And the reason for that is that I think that might have worked. Okay, so I still get the exception. That's really weird. I'm not spawning in. My alpha is just... What's going on? Spawn out of 0. I give up. I have no alpha. Okay. Death at is set. Syntax error in game RB. Change that back. Where's my syntax error? Damn it. That's gonna be at the end of the file, isn't it? I knew it. I knew it. Now you're at 1019. Fantastic. Okay. I'm back to no syntax error. I'm not... Why? Right, so I set the death at to an arbitrary value. Calc player. Player dot death at death at is nil. It shouldn't be. Hey, Cillian. Awesome. I'm glad you like the engine. I'm really glad to hear that. Which engine were you using before that? What engines do you have experience with? My player offered. My player was like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't feel like spawning anyways." What if I explicitly set it to no? Okay, then you spawn in. But yeah, I would love to get your thoughts on engines that you've used, like qualities of it, what was good, bad, and ugly, kind of facets of it. Okay, so the good thing there. So let me go back to player. So it doesn't look like I need the concept of a collide floor DX, but let me confirm that. Right, so if I remove this, and I'll do a reset here. Alright, so that's the fall of the player. That feels good. Okay, like, welcome to the stream. Mostly less code heavy ones that go into a completely different direction. You did a post about that. I'll let you. Yeah, I'd appreciate the link, definitely. Okay, so Collide DX was for specifically for the rotation. Is that why I was using it? Collide Floor DX. So I removed my ability to rotate, but we can add that back. All right, so Floor DX. All right, so there's the rotation facet if you're on the floor. So I want to keep a concept of being on the floor, which makes sense. All right, that's interesting. So if there's a wall collision, I'm going to reset the location of the player. But the question is, should I even do that? What I care about is whether on floor is true. So on floor is false. And it continues to be false. Do a reset. Alright, on floor is false, 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 false. Stays false. Does it ever become true? No? Really? It's supposed to be true there. This game hates me. Oh, here's a not on floor property. The bouncing. Little happy accidents. I just put let's play sound. Alright, now I'm just stuck in the air. That's fantastic. I'm still stuck in the air. Why am I stuck in the air? Collide DY. There shouldn't be a collision. Let's see what the player DY is. I'm going insane. Why isn't this running? Focal point, focal point. Let's go into the player. Do I have a guard clause somewhere? Let's make sure collide DY is called. Why is collide DY not being called? I put the play sound in the wrong place. Play bounce sound. There we go. Little bells, yes, mixtape. All right, so it cycles between true and false, and that's what I figured would be a challenge. All right, rolling works, which is good. Collide DX. In the event of a collision, I want to set player dot derotation to 0 on both ends. But yeah, Cillian, if you have any questions about the engine or anything, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. Why are you still rotating? Maybe also set the rotation itself. I don't want the player to rotate. See, that part's good. There we go. I don't think it looks like there's a small jitter. Let me see. Yeah, there's like a very tiny jitter in there. Now I resized my screen. Crap. I'm gonna lose the positioning inside of the Twitch stream. All right. So rotation is something I want to look at. Yeah, this is swapping in from between true and false, which I figured would be an issue because it shifts it above, and then you're not on the floor anymore, so you get dropped back down, and it keeps going like that. Yeah, exactly. Because when you shift yourself up, the you're no longer colliding with the specific the specific collision body. So inside of Calc Player Physics, so do I ever, okay. So cool, you have not collided. Then what I want to do, so that goes back to the whole shifting thing that I was doing before. So it's like, okay, well, I don't want to set on floor to false if, like, within 1 pixel there's a floor value. So this one's looking at the specific players for collision, which is fine. Where do I ever explicitly set on floor to false? Right here. Alright, so this is where I check the floor collision. But that's collide floor DX, right? Which I'm not going to use. So I've set the DY. So where exactly am I setting on floor to false if I'm not using collide floor DX anymore? Unless I'm still calling the damn thing. I'm still calling the damn thing, aren't I? Nope, I'm not. If they're not on the floor, players on floor, all that looks good. Alright, so let me go back to my player. Let's figure out exactly where on floor is being set back to false. So def on floor, value, put 60, caller.join, and then I look at and get rid of these stupid puts messages. Side of my game. Probably need some way to test for floor slightly beneath. Yeah, that's exactly what I need to do. The weird thing is that I'm looking through my code. So on floor. So I set in the level editor, but the level editor is not in play right now. It's set on the initialization. Okay, here's 2 places. Okay, so I set it on launch, but I'm not launching. So I'm not seeing anywhere where I'm explicitly setting it to false. So that's bomb detonation, which I'm not doing. So technically the value should be true at this point. Okay, it is true. So I'm not crazy. Alright. So I'm on the floor. And I think that's good, right? The thing is that... No, the fall works? Am I on the floor anymore? It's still considering me on the floor. Now I'm rolling in the air. That's great. I would just whatchamacallit, searching for just the property itself. Right. So the challenge here is that the fall works, but now I've got this like weird stuff going on here. So, and here's what you were talking about, right? We need to check right below the player. So what I'll do is I'll do that, and then I want to do merge y is equal to player dot y minus 1. I'm gonna have to add the merge function. And if there isn't a collision, at that point is when I want to do player.onFloor equals false. All right. So this should get me. Yeah, so here's the flippity flu stuff. So do I need to do -5? Oh. Right there. There we go. That's what I wanted. So now that should only toggle the property if I'm on the floor. And I should probably stop resetting my damn game. Cool. So no flickers. The play sound shouldn't... we won't have a mixtape on the play sound anymore, hopefully. Dropping off works. All that looks good. Yeah, so the Collide 4DX, I'm sure I do something else in there. All that looks good. So now the question is why does it throw an exception if I fall into lava? All right, so the first question is right here. Oh, hey, that kills him. That's good. That wasn't happening before. So that's very nice. So did I just fix my bug? Just by removing that unnecessary function? So if I go up here and I roll off, do I get an exception? Hey! It fixed the bug. Now why this is a bug, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I cannot explain why this block somewhere down the pipe calls a null reference exception. The good thing is I don't need the function anymore, so that part's great. But so, and yeah, your intuition was spot on. Like I still need to check right below them to see if they're continuing staying on the floor. But there you go. add you on the post Discord. Some thoughts on DragonRuby. Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I hope that like a part of what makes DragonRuby so good is that it's dog fooded. Like I use this damn thing, and same thing goes for like Unreal. Like I genuinely believe that what they built, I haven't used Unreal actually at all, but the fact that Epic uses that engine to build their own games in itself gives me confidence with the engine. I can't say the same thing for the other ones. I just can't. But wow, that just completely fixed the issue. All right, so if I go back to my sandbox environment, all right, there's my sandbox environment. The issue's gone. The issue's gone. That's wild. No, I don't want walls. I want these to be enemies, and I need to fix that. Unknown type enemy. We are in the level editor. Unknown enemy. Change those to enemies. That looks good. Enemy.rb will set the spawn rates for the bullets to be every second. I think this just looks pretty, and I just kind of want to see this, see what I can do with this facets of the visual, especially with the bombs now. The camera shake and everything. Yeah, and the thing with the like sharing experience is because I don't want you all to make the same mistakes I did. I don't want you all to ship a damn game. Like, I go on Reddit and just see crap. See people, I spent 5 years working on my game and it didn't make anything. It's like, well, why'd you spend 5 years working on a game as a solo dev? Don't do that. Please stop doing that. Please stop doing that. So, yeah, I try to. I don't want people to make the same mistakes I've made. It's hard enough as this to succeed. So wait, what the hell was I doing? There was some weird thing that I was going to look at, and now I completely forgot. Enemy spawn rate, I was looking at that. Let's see, let me catch up on chat. Alright, yeah, some around real thing. I think it's great. Yeah, I appreciate that. Don't want y'all to make the same mistakes. After using Unreal Engine, it has a much easier to use editor. Yeah, the depth is, I mean, it's a serious engine. Like, you need a team. You really need a team to build a game with that engine, and it can build games. It definitely can. Like Final Fantasy VII, I think the Final Fantasy VII remake is built with that engine. It's a fantastic looking game, but yeah, you're gonna use Unreal if you have a $500 million budget and a team of 600 people. Go for it. Huge amounts of objects and features. make a slower prototype. Yeah, and that's the trade-off, right? Yeah, if you're making a serious 3D game, I can't. The tricky part is always 3D because Unreal's too much, and like Unity's maybe the option, maybe the better option, best option for solo dev 3D games. But I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, you remember my whole spiel that I gave was that just 3D games themselves are just intimidating. I can't imagine doing a 3D game on my own. Let me commit at this point. At least this is a good point of committing. So let's see. This code here. So that was for the bomb lighting. Added bomb lighting. This is our camera shake logic. Right there. And let's go into the camera. If you have any questions on Git related stuff, happy to answer those. Camera. That's camera shake. And then the bug fix for the player stuff is right there. And it's less code. That's even better. Weird player exception bug fix was that. And then after that is the spawn alpha, is the final piece. Spawn alpha for that. There. That's me playing around with the editor, and then this is a, oh, didn't mean to commit that. Player spawn alpha. And level editor bug fix. Changing tile type. Yeah, and this stuff was just me screwing around with random shit. Alright. Agree with the ethos of me shipping games. Yeah, I'm trying to help a friend in a similar way. He's accomplished in other things, directed in real life and film, but for him to get track on releasing a small project, yeah, I completely agree. This is a good blog post that I posted, and it kind of frames the issue. Maybe that will persuade them. Quite enjoy doing 2.5D games. Basically game, but yeah, 3D characters and 3D animations. When you build up the right tech stack and asset creation, it's surprisingly nimble. Yeah, I haven't explored 2.5D. I want to make a Final Fantasy Tactics like level, right? And I love the layout of it. I love the 3D aspect of it. So it's like, yeah, it's on my bucket list of great things to do. Last game jam you did was that? Yeah. Sprite sheets are weird. They're good in some situations, and they're bad in other situations. I go in between using a sprite sheet and then empty sprites, or just individual sprites. Yeah, there's some weird attached logic that I need to work through. That's not going to be a big deal though. I think that's a good place to stop, actually. Give me some time to think about what the next facet of the system I should work on. That makes him feel positive about DragonRuby at all. It made me get up at 6 a.m. Well, one, I appreciate that, and two, like, game dev should make you happy, right? You shouldn't be miserable building games. I feel like so many engines just make you miserable. It's like, please stop making me feel miserable. You couldn't get frame index to work, so you had you had a chat, yeah. I think we have a sample for using frame index with the sprite sheet, if I'm not mistaken. Docs. Frame index. Yeah, so that's regular frame index. This is, yeah, so this is animation using separate PNGs, and then here's animation using the sprite sheet. So we have a sample explicitly showing how to do animation with the sprite sheet. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's math involved with that. 6x4, don't do that. Yeah, at that point you have to resolve the row and column, and it can get a bit more complicated. Especially if you've got like different types of animations, like an idle and running and everything in the same like grid. That can complicate things. Sprite sheets are overrated. Maybe, possibly. I say have more sprites. More well-named files. Oh, it's just a detail type of animation. Gotcha. Yeah, 1x24, just having a really long sprite sheet is kind of how I do my animation sheets, and I'll have a separate sprite sheet for each animation state. So I won't like pack, idle, run, jump all in the same sheet. I'll have different sheets for each one of those. But like sprite sheets or tile sheets for like weapons and stuff, I use separate PNGs for that. Screw trying to pack all that into a sheet and then arbitrarily having indices and trying to do that mapping. Fuck that. If I have a sword equipped, I will render sword.png and that's it. For grid-based stuff, the one thing that makes sense in a grid would be like an actual like tile for like landmarks and things like that. So you have like a boundary square and what have you. That makes sense to put in like an actual grid-based stuff. But that's kind of how I delineate, and I hate it. I hate it when I get assets and everything's in one tile sheet. It's like, this makes no sense. Split it based on like contextual category. I know I can do that myself, but it's like, come on. All right. Anyways, and rant. I think this is a good place to stop. See, trying to figure out when I'll stream next, but I'll be playing Baldur's Gate most likely, unfortunately. So my productivity is going to go way down for a little bit. I don't know. It might be the last time I stream this month. I might not stream again until October, but we'll see. Anyways, I'll post to the Discord when I do. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I really, really appreciated it. Just got back. Yep. Oh, Baldur's Gate, I swear, like, it's good. They did a fantastic job. I was like, no one's gonna be able to create a D&D style campaign. I played for about 4 or 5 hours, so not a long time, but so far the experience has been really great. What's the music behind you? It is To Xanarkand from Final Fantasy X. I'm trying to learn that piece. I'm like just past beginner with respect to piano. It's a little bit of a harder piece, but yeah, it's something I enjoy playing. I did percussion back in high school, so I can read sheet music as long as it's all one note. So I'm good at rhythms, but everything else it's difficult for me to start read. But I miss music in my life, so I'm picking it back up, and I'm playing To Xanarkand. It's has a warm fuzzy place in my heart. So, but yep, that's what I'm working on. All right. We all have a good one. I'll post if I end up streaming again this month, but it's hard to say. Take care.